The Navy SEAL classroom buzzed with whispers, the kind that carried hidden laughter. At the front stood a woman no one expected. Petite glasses, khaki slacks, auburn hair tied in a bun. She looked more like a college lecturer than someone meant to train America's toughest warriors. "Cute, Professor," one recruit muttered. Another smirked. "Wrong hall, ma'am." Even their leader, 6'4" Merrick Davenport, crossed his arms. "We're here to fight, not sit through lectures." They had no idea. Within weeks, those same men would stand in silence after learning who she truly was. But for now, she was simply Dr. Elaine Thorne, calm and unreadable. The classroom smelled of sweat and salt water. Recruits limped in after another brutal obstacle course only to stop short. Training Officer River's voice cut through the chatter. "From today, you'll attend 4 hours a week of asymmetric warfare theory. Taught by Dr. Thorne." Chuckles rippled through the room. To men forged in mud and fire, theory sounded like weakness. Davenport voiced what they all thought. "With respect, ma'am, the enemy doesn't care about theories when bullets are flying." Thorne's eyes stayed calm. "Trainee Davenport, show me your room-clearing procedure." He moved with precision, textbook perfect. "Good," she said softly. "Now let me show you the 7 fatal flaws in your approach." For 10 minutes, she dissected his every move, angles, blind spots, timing errors. No manual had ever gone this deep. By the time she was done, the smirks had vanished. When she pushed up her sleeve, a jagged scar flashed on her wrist. One recruit noticed. Scars? From what? Suddenly, theory didn't feel so harmless. Days passed. Her lessons weren't about push-ups or sprints, but about perception, anchoring bias, situational blindness, the fatal mistakes born from overconfidence. Davenport grew restless. "We need to be stronger, faster, more aggressive," he said. Her reply was quiet, deadly. "The strongest operator I ever knew died because he couldn't adapt." The room went still. She spoke as if she'd been there. Then came the sensory manipulation drills, flashing lights, distorted sounds, illusions. Within minutes, elite candidates stumbled like rookies. "This isn't training," Davenport muttered. "Ramadi 2012, she said coldly. 3 operators killed when insurgents used these very tactics. Physical strength couldn't save them." Silence fell. By the 3rd week, resentment boiled over. Someone drew a cruel caricature of her on the board. A frail professor carried by soldiers. She erased it wordlessly, but one recruit, Calloway, approached. "Ma'am, not everyone thinks this is a joke. Some of us see value." She gave a faint smile. "Then show them, until they do." That day, she divided them into teams for drills designed to fail. Even Davenport's team stumbled. "This was meant to break you," she said. "Your bodies are strong." "Your minds are not. That changes now," Davenport snapped. "This is a waste of time." Her eyes hardened. "In Kandahar, I watched a man die because he thought exactly like you. His muscles couldn't save him." The word "watched" struck him like a bullet. She had seen death, not read about it. 3 weeks in, tension filled the room like smoke. "Your entry pattern," Thorne said during simulation critique, "creates a funnel. In Fallujah, this maneuver killed 4 operators. With respect, ma'am," Davenport barked, "this isn't something you learn from books." "The Alisgari district," she replied evenly. 7 seconds after breach, everyone dead. "I know because I was there." The class froze. Too specific. Too real. Then came the breaking point. As class ended, Davenport stayed behind. "You're teaching warfare to men who actually fight," he growled. "You've never seen combat. You're a liability." She looked up. "Leadership isn't being the strongest. It's knowing when strength isn't enough." He lost control, seized her throat and slammed her against the wall. "This is combat, Professor." "Violence, not theory." For one heartbeat, she didn't resist. Then, a blur. She broke his grip, twisted his arm, and slammed him to the floor in seconds. A loud pop. His shoulder dislocated. The door burst open. Commander Blackwood entered. "At ease, Major." The word struck like thunder. "Major." Whispers rippled through the room. Blackwood's voice was iron. "Gentlemen, meet Major Elaine Thorne, call sign Wraith. 15 years special warfare experience. Silver Star, Purple Heart, sole survivor of Operation Obsidian Shield. The recruits stared in stunned silence. The professor wasn't an academic. She was a legend. Davenport sat on the floor, arm hanging limp, pride shattered. Blackwood continued. You mocked tactics that saved lives. Major Thorne's scars were earned where most of you wouldn't survive. Learn from her, or you won't last. From that moment, the classroom changed forever. Later, Thorne visited Davenport in the medical bay. They're separating me, he said bitterly. I'm finished. Is that what you want? She asked. I crossed the line. Doesn't matter. It matters to me, she said softly. I haven't signed your papers yet. Why? Because your mistake came from loyalty. Misguided and but pure. The problem wasn't your protection. It was your assumptions, he swallowed hard. What happens now? You decide, leave with pride, or stay and learn what true strength means. He looked up. I was wrong. I want to learn. Training resumes at 800, she said. Don't be late. The next morning, every recruit stood at attention. Even Davenport, arm in a sling, saluted sharply. Questions poured in. Is it true you survived Obsidian Shield? Yes, she said simply. 7 lost. I carried the intel out. Your scars? Kandahar? She nodded. Captured. Tortured. Nerve damage permanent. The room went silent. Finally, Davenport asked, The strongest operator you mentioned, who was he? She met his eyes. Your father, Chief Garrett Davenport. He saved my life twice before losing his own. Stronger than 10 of me, but he couldn't adapt. The color drained from Davenport's face. My father... Yes, that's why I'm here. Because adaptation is survival. Weeks passed. Where there was once mockery, now there was reverence. Her scars became lessons. Her calm, their anchor, Davenport transformed the most. He no longer led with arrogance, but with awareness. Even with one arm injured, he trained harder, smarter. Her drills grew brutal. Blindfolded obstacle courses, broken radios, failed weapons. Every failure taught them one truth. Strength without thought is useless. One night, Commander Blackwood watched as she shouted across the course, You've lost your weapon. You're wounded. Civilians in your care. What's your move? Davenport answered instantly. Use terrain, misdirection, psychological leverage. Thorne nodded. Excellent. You've learned to weaponize perception. Blackwood smiled faintly. Transformation complete. A month later came the final evaluation. 6 hours of chaos designed to break body and mind. Equipment failed. Leadership rotated. Plans collapsed, but they didn't. They adapted. They led. They survived. When it was over, Thorne stood before them. Today you proved that muscle fades, but the mind endures. When everything breaks, think. That's what brings you home. Commander Blackwood stepped forward. This program is now a permanent part of SEAL training. 6 months later, graduation day. Families cheered as recruits received their tridents. From the shadows, Thorne watched silently. When Davenport stepped forward, Blackwood's voice carried, This man demonstrated tactical innovation and humility. He set a new benchmark for adaptability. Davenport searched the crowd, found her, and gave a small nod. She returned it, soldier to soldier. As the ceremony ended, each new operator lined up silently as she walked past, offering crisp salutes. Davenport was last. Thank you, Major, he said, for teaching us that true strength isn't domination, it's adaptation, she saluted back. Remember that lesson. It will bring you home when nothing else can. Later, as the sun set over the base, she packed a single box of belongings. Commander Blackwood stopped her. You changed everything, met lower injuries, higher success. You didn't just train them, you rewired them. She gave a faint smile. Teaching them might be the most important mission of my life. She drove off beneath the fading light. Scars hidden, peace earned. Behind her, a generation of warriors trained not just to fight, but to adapt, and for the first time they understood what she had always known. Strength alone wins battles. But adaptation wins wars.